Hey everybody, Paul Abernathy here. Thanks for joining me here on Master the NEC, as well as if you're a student of ours in the Fast Tracks program, we appreciate you and thank you for being a part of the family. Now, from time to time, I get asked a lot of questions about various calculations, and sometimes questions that get asked can take you down rabbit holes that you really don't need to go down, especially when you're exam prepping. Today's question is very much like that. It will assume that when you read it, that you're going to like, okay, I need to go find out what the conductor is and all this type of stuff in order to determine how many conductors I can put in a raceway and all that. I'll be using chapter 9, table 1, table 4, all this type of stuff. Reality is in this question, you just need to realize there's no calculation at all, although it may appear in a calculation portion of an exam, again, maybe by accident or maybe intentionally. And if you get a bunch of these, like the one we're going to look at today, then count yourself as being pretty lucky because it's really not that difficult of a question. But I do get people that do stumble with it. And I'm going to also show you the easy way to find the answer to this. And we'll still look at the way to do the actual calculation because I think it's important that when you're preparing for an exam, we take a question like today's and we break it down so you understand it. So we're going to do that for you in this video. Okay. So, all right. So let's look at the question and we'll work it from there. All right. So here's our question. It says, how many 12 AWG THHN conductors can be installed in a 3/4 trade size EMT raceway? Okay. So it literally wants to know how many I can put in there. Now, first thing I'll tell you is a lot of people will look at this question and go, well, it's not about how many you can put in there. It's the ampacity of the conductor once you stuff them in the raceway. This question is not asking anything about what the eventual ampacity is of a conductor. It's not. It simply wants to know how many 12s I can put in there safely and not exceed the fill requirement of the raceway. Okay? That's all we're asking here. So one of the things is that a lot of people will look at these questions and they can't help but comment on whether it's a YouTube video or one of the other social platforms. They'll go, yeah, but that doesn't mean anything because you can't use the 12 gauge for that ampacity because you put too many in there. Look, do you not think we get that? We get that, but we're preparing for an exam. This question is straightforward. It just wants to know how many 12s I can stick in a 3/4 trade size EMT, electrical metallic tubing raceway. That's it. Straight cut and dry. Is it 15? Is it 16? Is it 17? Or is it 18 conductors in there? So these are our choices. Okay, so let's go to the code. Now, the first thing I'm going to tell you is that you need to get familiar with the fill requirements, okay? Just so you have an understanding. We're going to do it two ways. We're going to show you how to use what's called Informative Annex C, and we're going to show you how to actually calculate out the fill as well, okay? We're going to show you how to do both in this episode because I want you to take away from this lesson how to actually do it, not just for an exam, but in the real world, okay? All right, so first things first, let's look at the code, and we're already in Informative Annex C, okay? But remember, the only time that you can use this Informative Annex C, and it's just for the number of conductors. It has nothing to do with the ampacity of the conductors once you put them in that raceway. That's a total different requirement, 31015 C1, totally something different. Here, we just want to know how many can you put in there if they're all the same size. So in our case, they're all 12 gauges. So the simple path would be, okay, we'll go down here to Informative Annex C. They're all the same size. No calculation involved. I'm going to go down here and you'll look and see that C1 is where we want to be. And that's for normal conductors that would be under table 4 or table 5 applications and table 1 of chapter 9. This is not going to be the 5A, which is compact conductors. That would be this one, C1A. Okay. There was nothing that was said in the question about them being compact. Okay, so we don't assume that, just regular conductors. So we're going to be in C1 here for EMT. Now we just scroll down, and here it is, and I will blow this up so you can see the most of it here. Okay, I'll scroll to the left. So here we will see the conductors over here on the left side, and over here you see the different trade size. Okay, and it reminds you right here that we're dealing in Chapter 1, Table 1, Chapter 9, Table 1, table 4, and table 5. That is not compact conductors. Standard conductors, standard ASTM B3s like that, or B8 type of scenario. So that's it. We're not dealing with anything else other than that, okay? All right. Now, and here's the 3/4 column right here. So now what you do is we scroll down until we get on the left side, until we get to that THHN. Here it is, THHN right here. Now you can't see it as well, so what I will try to do is adjust this a little bit so you guys can see it. I can. Now let me see if I can't adjust this out. Bear with me, I'm doing it on the fly here. There we go. Okay, so there you go. So there's your THHN right there. And then we come over here and we're going to pin the header so it's a little easy for us. And this is what we're looking for, 3/4 right here. All right, so we're doing 12 gauge. So here's 12 gauge THHN. And under the 3/4 column, it says that I can put 16 in there. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that or not. I'll zoom it in. Right there. You see that? 16 right there for the 12. And it's THHN. All right, so that's where we're at. So right off there, if you went back to the question, okay, then you could say, well, they're all the same size, so it's a no-brainer. The answer is 16. But now let's double check that, because that's how you would do it since they're all the same size. Yes, you can use Informative Annex C for this because they are all the same size. Remember, that's only about the number of conductors you can put in there. That has nothing to do with how much ampacity those conductors will have due to bundling after you do the installation and you put all of them in there. That's a totally different thing, and we teach you that in our Fast Tracks program, okay? And we also have a video called Derating Demystified that's available over on Fast Tracks Tube that also goes into extreme detail about all those type of things, okay? All right, but now I'm going to show you how to do it mathematically, how to calculate it out. All right, so remember what this table actually said right here. Let's go back real quick. And you'll notice it right here. It says using table 1, table 4, and table 5. Okay, that's what it's talking about. So we're going to use all of those. So let's go on back to table 1. Okay, so let me get back here. We'll go to chapter 9 and we'll go to table 1. Okay. All right, so here's table 1. Right here. Oh, let me get you there. Got to get you over to the code real quick. Okay, so here we go. Here's table 1. And then I'm in chapter 9 right here. See, right? So just to show you where I'm at, right here, chapter 9. So here's table 1. So table 1 is going to talk about the percentage of cross-sectional fill that we can't exceed for the Raceway. So in this case, we have it says how many do we have? How many can we put in there? Well, we already know previously that we saw Informative Annex C said we could put 16 in there. And we're pretty sure that without even doing anything, that we can put more than 2 in there. So we're automatically going to look and say, well, we know we're going to be over 2. Okay. So that means that we can fill it up to 40%. Okay. So that's what that means right there. So there's where the 40 comes from. So we can't exceed 40%. All right. Now, next, we're going to go to table 4. And so let's get this back here. And I will get down here to table 4. All right. So we're going to be doing this for, oops, let's get back here and right here. Okay. All right. So here's our conductors. So this right here, just so you can see, is table. Well, let's go to 4 first. I want to get us to 4. Okay. So let's do this first. So here we are in table 4. Now, table 4 is the dimensions and percentage area of for conduit and tubings. Okay. And you see there. So now you can see that this is broken into total area. So if you were asked what the total area is inside of the Raceway, this is what you would put. This is the value for that, whatever given size. This is the nominal interior diameter. Okay, so this is area. This is interior diameter. Okay, notice this is in inches and this is in square inches. Okay, now here's for 2 wires. It's 31% fill, and these values are here. Okay, and let's go back to the left. Okay, so for one wire in a raceway, it's 53% fill. That was on chapter 9, table 1. And what we're looking for is right here, over 2 wires, which means it's a 40%. And we saw that back on chapter 9, table 1, right? And we already know by looking at Informative Annex C and a little common sense that we're going to be over 2. Just we want to know how many. All right, so we're going to go back here and I'll show you a way to do that. So now, it was a 3/4, right? So here's the trade size right here and 3/4 right here. And so without exceeding the 40%, we can have 0.213, and we want to write that down. We can have up to 0.213, okay, of square inches of volume, okay, taken up by these conductors, and we can't exceed that. So that's the 40%, okay? All right, so that is our percentage of area we cannot exceed, 40%, and it tells us that it's going to equate to 0.213 square inches, okay? Now, we have to find out what the value is for those 12 gauge conductors individually, okay? I'm going to show you a couple things here. All right, so now that's going to take us to, we need to go to table 5. And we're going to go to that. Oops, right here. So now we're in table 5 right here. And I'll pop this up again, so I'll expand this. So now we're in table 5. Now, we're looking for the individual conductor. So it is THHN, okay? And we need to find it. So we've got the area that we need. We got the values for the 3/4 EMT already. That's 0.213. That's the value that's not going to exceed 40% for EMT. Now we're going to go down here and look for THHN, and then we'll pin the header so it's a little easier for us. So we'll go down here, and now we're going to find THHN. All right, here's THHN. Now we're going to go over here and find, no, these are 12 gauges, right? So here's 12. And so we know it's the second one down, so we're going to scroll over here to the right, and there's the approximate area. That's what we're going to be using. Now, again, folks, I'll show you here. We're not using the approximate diameter, okay? Remember, we did the Raceway was square inches. So the approximate area is still going to use square inches, okay? So we'll go down here, and as you stated here, we'll just real quick go back over here for this THHN, and we'll look for the 12 right here, and we'll just draw this line across. There it is. So it's 0.0133 for 112. So let me write that down, 0.0133, and that equals 112, okay? All right, so 2 ways to do this now. We know that we can't exceed 0.213, but the easiest way to do it is just go to the 0.213 and divide it by 0.0133, because that's what the conductor, so we want to see. So we'll take the 0.213 and we'll divide that by 0.0133 equals 16.01. Can't have a 0.01 of a conductor, so we're going to round down. So we can have 16 in there. Now, wasn't that exactly the same thing we saw in Informative Annex C? Absolutely it was. So that shows you what the Informative Annex C is based on, okay? So that's how you would determine it. So in this case, we know that we can have 16. So let's go back to the question. And we know that 16 is our answer. Boom. And that is absolutely correct. Okay. So the great takeaway here is that if all the conductors are the same size, then you can just go to Informative Annex C and go down there and look for the Raceway and that you're dealing with and the type of conductor, and you're good to go, right? No problem. When you want to find it the other way, then you have to go find out what the 40% fill is, okay, which is in Chapter 9, Table 1, for over 2 conductors. And you knew it was going to be over 2, a little common sense. And then you go, okay, well, it's 12s. So I've got to go to Chapter 9, Table 5, and find out what the value is for the 12, and that was 0.0133. Then I have to go and say, okay, for an EMT, 3/4 EMT trade size, then that is 0.213 is the 40% threshold. So since I can't fill it more than 40%, I take that value, which was the 0.213, I will divide that by the individual conductor, which is the 12, which is the 0.0133, and that'll tell me a number. In our case, it was 16.01. You drop the 0.01 because you can't have 0.01 of a conductor. So how many can I put in there? 16 and be safe. Cannot put 17, put 16 in there. Okay. Now remember, that doesn't mean those conductors will have the ampacity that you need. That's not what this is all about. This was all about how many can I put in the raceway, not whether or not they're real usable at the end, because you got to know how to do adjustments and corrections for the number of conductors and all those type of things. So at the end of the day, all we did was answer the question as it was given, and I showed you 2 ways to do that. Okay, if it's confusing for you, look, watch the video again and think about joining our Fast Tracks program, because we break it down with a lot of individual examples. There's no stress. You will get it. And at any point you have any questions, I'm always here to help. I've been doing this nearly 40 years, and I've helped people all over the country learn the NEC. I can help you too. Till next time, folks, stay safe. God bless.